Ladies, gentlemen, and whoever else is listening to this, my name is Anthony Walker. This is the Wrestling Matters Podcast, episode 18. How are we all doing? I'm doing amazing. It is just absolutely, I'm on top of the world. I'm actually back at work now. Besides doing these podcasts, I've actually got my paid job back, so good to be back at work. Also, I've done a lot of work with EPW as well. EPW Wrestling, ladies and gentlemen. The promotion based in my hometown, rather, in Middlesbrough, England. Make sure you check them out. EPWWrestling.co.uk, EPW Wrestling 1 on Twitter, EPW American Wrestling on Facebook. Links will be in the description if you see this on YouTube and Podomatic and that. Also, make sure you check out the channels as well. They have put up a show in Birmingham, which I'll be doing a podcast on very, very soon when I get the time. At the moment right now, I'm a busy man. At the moment anyway, since I've started work and everything. So as soon as I get all the beef out the way and I have some time, I will do a podcast on the Birmingham show. Took place July 25th. And yes, again, I was involved. And also make sure you listen out and look out for as well, if you're in the Middlesbrough area, or you can get to the Middlesbrough area, EPW Wrestling returns to Colby Nooms Rainbow Leisure Centre, September 20th, 2014. Saturday night. Yes, Saturday nights are alright for fighting, as Elton John once said. And it may be a special one. I don't know yet. I've got a birthday coming up, and I've got other things to come up first before I decide anything else. But I may very well be wrestling on that show. We will see though, but make sure you listen out then. Further information on them will be available in upcoming podcasts. Also, as well, as we all know, we talk about TNA, we talk about Monday Night Raw, and we talk about SmackDown. But what it seems, ladies and gents, we may not be talking about TNA for very much longer, because in October, the format of this show may just go to Monday Night Raw and SmackDown, because TNA may not even be around after October. That is, unless they get a new network. I'm sure you all heard about it. Spike TV has decided not to renew their contract, and it leaves TNA in a world of trouble, big time. Because if they don't get a contract by October, they're in a lot of bother, because they'll be out of a network. What directions could they go? Well, they're on the national-based network, as we all say, Spike TV. I think that's the old TNN. But could they go back to once-a-week pay-per-views like they used to do? I would probably do it. If it was me, if I was running the company, I'd probably go back to a weekly pay-per-view if I couldn't get a network by October. That would be me. That'd be my way of doing things. At least the company would be in business still. But yeah, without Nashville network or Spike TV, whatever it's calling itself, or without a network, basically TNA are in the shit. A lot of names have been thrown around of what network they could get. You know, Ion Television have been names as well. Like I said, these are just rumours. Sci-Fi Network, which is highly unlikely. I can't see them being on a Sci-Fi Network. I can't see the Sci-Fi Network accepting them. Although they have got SmackDown, I will say that. But I really can't see Sci-Fi Network picking them up. But like I say, you never say never. It's just, it's going to be a kit of caboodle. But question is, if they go out of business, where does that leave TNA for challenge as well? If they stay in business, or if they could somehow manage to stay in business as well, because we all know TNA might not be very popular in the US from what I'm hearing, but it's damn sure popular in the UK. People love it over here. People, it would probably, I would probably go as far as to say that, people would say that it might go as far as say that TNA is probably most talked about over here than WWE. I don't know. That's just my opinion on it. But like I said, TNA is a popular promotion over here, with the tours they do and that. I mean, don't get me wrong, WWE do tours as well, but TNA's tours, people really love them. From the feedback that Wrestle Talk TV bring out, people seem to really like them. It's just amazing, the main question is, at the end of the day, guys, will TNA still be around after October? That's like the $100 million question. Who knows? And it may very well be a possible chance. Bound for Glory, their signature pay-per-view, their WrestleMania, in fact, could very well be their last. Who knows? I guess we'll find out in October what the situation is. I hope they can get a network. They should be able to get a network. Hell, will WWE Network pick them up? Yeah? Will the WWE Network pick them up? Will WWE find it in their hearts to allow the competition to be on their network? I say competition, but let's face it, TNA no competition to WWE. But are WWE willing to step up and give them a network? I really don't know. Like I say, a whole lot of questions to ask. I'm sure we'll get the answers in October. Let's hope TNA stick around. If not, where else will wrestling go? There's always the indie circuits, there's always the British promotions, but who knows, we'll wait and see. But it's a challenging period at this moment in time, at least, for TNA Wrestling. To the Raw main points. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, I'll move away from TNA for the time being and go to the Raw main points. And Raw kicked off this week with John Cena being confronted by Paul Heyman. John Cena has a problem, and that problem goes by the name of Brock Lesnar. With the Beast Incarnate named the number one contender to Cena's WWE World Heavyweight Championship, and the champ is staring down the beating of a lifetime, Cena broke his silence to the WWE Universe and addressed the seriousness of the upcoming match, though he promised to defeat the Beast when it was all said and done. Paul Heyman, of course, was not about to let the opportunity to one-up Cena pass, but the mad scientist's mouth seemed set to get him into some hot water before long. Enter Cesaro. Despite no longer being a Paul Heyman guy, the Swiss Superman took issue with Cena's treatment of his friend and challenged the champ on behalf of his former advocate, who accepted the gesture with grace and friendship. Who knew? Which led into their match, which was right after the break. He probably shouldn't have insulted the shoes, Cesaro. Strong words for John Cena turned to fighting words in Raw's opening moments, and the champ wasted no time disproving Cesaro's claim that he couldn't wrestle, breaking out a pair of hip tosses, headlocks and hurricane ranas, and a monkey flip for the sold-out Toyota Center crowd in the first 5 minutes of their match. Cesaro took pointed advantage of Cena's unusual display of showmanship in the rematch of their instant classic from February, using his own grappling to force the champ into ruthless aggression mode. The King of Swing stayed alive with pure strength, unleashing a 10 rotation Cesaro swing and clobbering the champ with the very European uppercut. But at last burst of energy won the champ the day when he got Cesaro off the top turnbuckle with a super AA for the 1, 2, 3. I think Cena's starting to bring his A game now. Now he's got the Beast at SummerSlam. That should be very interesting to see what happens next. R-Truth versus Bo Dallas. So, the streak is over. That's right, over. Bo Dallas' run on the main roster came to an abrupt end thanks to none other than R-Truth, who didn't take the former NXT champion's backhanded jab at his win-loss record too kindly. In fact, Truth seemed to take it as a challenge and responded accordingly. The former US champion conquered the streak by rolling Bo up during his premeditated victory lap, though Truth caught a beating from an unsportsmanlike showing from Bo Dallas. If you ask me, Bo Dallas got exactly what he deserved. Thank you, R-Truth, for shutting him up for the time being at least. Confrontation between Seb Coulter, Jack Swagger, Rusev and Lana. Do you want to start a world where Rusev and Lana already did by provoking Jack Swagger and Seb Coulter into action? And the pair of indecisive victories by each party hasn't led to the slightest bit of resolution. In fact, the Russian prompted the return of the real American, who stormed the ring at Seb's command and set Rusev scurrying yet again. Might the final battle be in the horizon? Preferably SummerSlam? I would say so. I don't like Jack Swagger because he's the guy that put Wade Barrett on the shelf, and I'm going right in saying that. Fuck you, Jack Swagger. I like this feud a lot. And if you ask me, this feud is doing these two the world of good, especially Jack. The t-shirt doesn't lie. It really is one against all for Roman Reigns, who targeted Randy Orton's costing the Viper a title match in the process, and was forced to contend with Triple H's Resistance Demon. Orton had other ideas though, however. By jumping the big dog before the match began, Reigns briefly gained the upper hand in the ensuing brawl, though once Kane chokeslammed Reigns and left him at Orton's mercy, he became a little more than the Viper's bitch, so to speak. Having been promised he'd never get a title shot until Reigns was taken care of, the Apex Predator did his best to accomplish just that. He pulverized Reigns with kicks to the face and threw him into the steel steps before finishing him off with a Henning DDT off the barricade and an RKO on top of the announce table. Since the first one failed to shatter the desk, another that finally put Reigns through to the concrete floor. Question is, will it put Reigns out of action. I guess we'll find out this week on Raw. But I smell a match between these two at SummerSlam. Because we all know Reigns ain't going to take this line down. And we end this main talking points with a match that finally happened. Having dropped all the charges against Stephanie McMahon, save for aggravated battery, Brie Bella was surely going to make one of the WWE's principal owners pony up to explode that final. When it came to choosing her destiny, Brie's demands for the Queen was simple. A raise for Nikki, a reinstatement for herself, and a one-on-one match between her and Stephanie at SummerSlam. Despite some lengthy pleas for the former Divas champion to reconsider, Stephanie finally relented in a flood of tears, crocodile tears. It turned out to be, though. Stephanie slapped Brie across the face, vowed to make Brie her bitch, and entered in an all-out brawl that required Triple H, WWE officials, Joey Mercury, Finlay, and Jamie Noble to break it up. Somewhere, the king of the yes-men, the legend himself, Mr. Bryan Danielson, Daniel Bryan, whatever you want to call him, is smiling. His wife is going to beat up the bitch. We'll see who the A+ player is, or the B+ player is, or the C+ player is after SummerSlam. I can't wait. TNA main points started with TNA president Dixie Carter. She's accompanied by EC3, Rockstar Spud, Rhino, and the two mystery men who appeared last week, Snitsky and Ryklon, spelled Ryklon. If I pronounced that wrong, I apologise, but we all know him as Big Ezekiel Jackson. She says she makes the rules for the game, and every time the fans think that they have figured it out, she changes the rules. Dixie says it's okay for the fans to keep chanting ECW, but she wants them to know that the stars of ECW left and that the little company died. She says she gives the fans something better, a real star, EC3. Need I say more? EC3 introduces his army of extreme, Big Zeke, Snitsky, and Rhino. EC3 challenges Tommy Dreamer and Team 3D to settle the war once and for all, and that when it's done, his team will rebuild the house the Carters built. Do I even really need to say anything about that, to be honest? It just is what it is. Oh, and by the way, for those of you that hadn't figured it out, this was Destination X, just to let you know. The Tag Team Dream Match. Eddie Edwards and Davey Richards, the Wolves, versus the Hardy Boys, in quite possibly, probably the best tag team match I've seen in a while. After the bell, Eddie Edwards and Matt Hardy lock up in the center of the ring. As the crowd alternates between chants, "Let's go Hardys, let's go Wolves," Edwards and Hardy make quick tags, bringing in Jeff and Davey. Jeff mounts enough offense to gain control of the match. Then he and Matt exchange rapid tags and double team maneuvers. Matt maintains control over Davey while the crowd wildly chants for Eddie. Davey Richards explodes from the corner with a clothesline to Jeff and makes a hot tag to Eddie Edwards, who bursts into the ring and takes both Hardys out. Eddie sends Matt and Jeff to the outside with a double Hurricane Rana, and then the Wolves fly through the ropes to ground their challengers. Jeff is rolled into the ring, and the Wolves execute a series of double team assaults, good for a near fall. Matt attacks the Wolves from behind, and as they attempt another double team attack, tossing both of them from the ring. Jeff Hardy flies over the top rope. Matt drops Eddie with a side effect, and Jeff nails the swanton. Davey breaks up the count and throws Jeff from the ring. Matt tosses Davey out and nails Eddie Edwards with a moonsault. 1-2, Davey just breaks it up. Matt and Jeff lock a pair of double submissions. As the Hardys near a tap-out victory, Davey causes Jeff to fall backwards, inadvertently breaking both holds. The Wolves fight back ferociously, but Matt nails Davey with a twist of fate and goes for the cover. Davey kicks out just before 3. A surprised Matt hoists Davey to the top rope and attempts a suplex, but Eddie Edwards hits Matt with a jumping kick, setting up the double team maneuver that puts the exclamation point on the match, which was a top rope backstabber, which was bloody painful for what it saw. And the Wolves get the 1, 2, 3 to get the win. After the match, the Wolves and the Hardy Boys shake hands at the Crown Chads. That was awesome, and believe you me, ladies and gentlemen, that was awesome. If you don't believe me, go and find the match and go and watch the show for yourself, because I don't think you'll ever get another tag match like that in a while. Team 3D and Tommy Dreamer enter the Impact Zone. Devon says EC3 must be stuck on stupid, and that he, Bully Ray and Tommy Dreamer know how to finish the war EC3 started. Dreamer says this is about something bigger than EC3. It's about a work ethic and a passion for the business. EC3 enters the ring, or enters the arena rather, and says the war will take place on Carter time next week. Bully Ray says nobody wants to go to war next week. He threatens to start the riot before agreeing to have the match next week. Bully says since EC3 has named the time, he names the stipulation. It will be an 8-man hardcore war. Bully Ray gives his word to the fans and the wrestling world that next week Dixie Carter is going through a table. Devon screams, "Oh my brother, testify." What will happen? Tune in next week. It's going to be amazing. On to option C. That's right, the World Heavyweight Championship match. Christy and Emmy announced the World Heavyweight Championship match as the competitors make their way to the ring. Ashley and Aries lock up, but Ashley powers Aries down to the mat. Aries uses his speed to land a series of kicks to the hamstring of Lashley. Aries drapes Lashley's leg on the second rope and unleashes an onslaught of kicks and knees. A drop kick from Aries sends Lashley crashing out onto the arena floor. Aries flies from the turnbuckle. Lashley catches him and tosses him with a release suplex. In the ring, Lashley drives his shoulder into the abdomen and Aries repeatedly. A running shoulder block sends Aries crashing to the floor and rolling out of the ring. In pursuit, Lashley hoists Aries into the air and drives him into the ring post before tossing him back in the ring. Lashley is in full control as he locks 2 submissions and drops Aries to the mat with ease. Aries reverses Lashley's next attack and connects with a discus forearm and a series of strikes. Aries sidesteps a charging Lashley, sending him out of the ring. Aries jumps from the turnbuckle, this time connecting. Aries sends Lashley into the corner with a missile dropkick. Aries charges Lashley, catches him, and powers Aries down with a running power slam. Lashley attempts a spear, but Aries reverses and locks in the last chance submission. Lashley manages to escape the hold and attempts another spear. Aries sidesteps Lashley, sending him crashing into the ring post. Aries hoists Lashley into the air and connects with a brainbuster. Lashley kicks out with 2. Aries climbs the turnbuckle, but Lashley rolls out of the ring. Aries runs across the ring and misses Lashley with a suicide dive, connecting with the metal guardrail instead. Lashley rolls Aries into the ring and nails a spear for the 1-2-3 victory. And yes, Bobby Lashley retains. What's going to happen next week on Impact? I guess we'll tune in to find out. But it seems that option C didn't come through for Austin Aries, which quite frankly I don't get, because I heard that Aries was supposed to be the next champion. Seems the old switcheroo came to place in that. Now we've done TNA, we've done Monday Night Raw, now for the SmackDown main points. Just 4 days after an explosive encounter with Rusev on Raw, Jack Swagger went head-to-head with his former Real American tag team partner Cesaro in SmackDown's opening bout. After a hard-hitting battle against the Swiss Superman that saw the Real American make the foreign-born opponent tap out to the Patriot Lock, Lawler and Rusev arrived with the Russian flag in tow. The ravishing Russian challenged Swagger to a flag match at SummerSlam, to which the Patriarch Seb Coulter not only heartily accepted on behalf of the former world champion, but also in the name of Real Americans everywhere. We the people. Interested to see what happens in that match, although that is going to be a war this coming SummerSlam between them two. Now on to something that we probably expected. Randy Orton challenges Roman Reigns to a match at SummerSlam. On the heels of delivering one of the most brutal beatings in WWE history, Randy Orton dared Roman Reigns to step inside the ring with the Viper at SummerSlam. With the black-clad superstar likely still feeling the effects from arguably the worst thrashing of his young career, the question now is, will Reigns rise up to the Apex Predators challenge? My question is, yes. Roman Reigns, Randy Orton at SummerSlam. It was expected. There'll be one hell of a fight between them two, no doubt. Admin a heated handicap match against Seth Rollins and Kane. Dean Ambrose decided to even the odds with a steel chair despite getting disqualified. The Lunatic Fringe got oh so close to finally getting sweet justice against his former Shield brother, although Mr. in the Money in the Bank successfully retreated. The Demon Kane was not lucky, receiving a steel chair beatdown from the fired up former United States Heavyweight Champion. Will this match ever take place between Ambrose and Rollins? My guess is yes. Question is, prior to SmackDown's main event, it was announced that Eric Rowan would be banned from ringside at Bray Wyatt and Chris Jericho's SummerSlam bout if he lost his match Friday night to Y2J. With the stakes increased, the Ayatollah of Rock and Roller battled the Wyatt family follower blow for blow, eventually landing the knockout strike in the form of a codebreaker. The vital victory means the Goat Mask Rowan will unable to assist his leader at the biggest party of the summer, but will it be enough for the first ever undisputed champion to save himself from the new face of fear? It'll be one hell of a match, and with this happening right now, maybe, just maybe, Bray Wyatt will have to prove himself and beat Chris Jericho by himself at SummerSlam. And with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to shut on some promos right now. You all know, but I'm helping my boys out, so the promos, and then after that, I'm just going to talk about what I feel that is needed to talk about in the world of professional wrestling, because a few things have come up, so stay tuned for that. I'll be back after this.
Well, enough is enough, and it's time for a change! Are you ready?
It is Sunday, and you're listening to the Sunday Segue Wrestling Podcast.
Give me a hell yeah! Get some man! Ooh, yeah!
With Kenny Killer.
Hey, yo! We're in the big D tonight, baby, and we are live! Woo!
I'm the Goddamn Sugar Shoe.
The best there is, the best there was, and the best there ever will be! Cause that's the bottom line! The Stone Cold Simpson!
Download the Sunday Segue Wrestling Podcast now at iTunes. And we're back, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you've enjoyed this episode of the Wrestling Matters Podcast. Now to talk about a few things. Now, apparently Vicky Guerrero has found there is life after WWE, because she's landing a new job. She now works at a pharmacy place. So, hey, it just proves there is life after wrestling after all the years that she's had in the company, in the WWE. Many morons will probably think she only got the job because of Eddie's death, blah, 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 blah. But she's now left, and now she's landing a new job at a pharmacy, so good luck to her with that. Just seeing if there's anything else that's worth talking about, because I've already talked about the main point, and that was TNA. I talked about that earlier on, so just seeing if there's anything else that's worth talking about. One more thing as well, which I found out. I was watching the British Wrestling Roundup today on YouTube, on the Wrestle Talk TV website, and apparently Rampage Brown has been invited to appear on the TNA boot camp, the British boot camp. It's going to be interesting, since he's scheduled to compete against Johnny Moss at an EPW show in my hometown September 20th at the Rainbow Centre, so that'll be interesting. I'll have to have a word with Chris about that, because he's been invited to go on the show. Whether he'll go on or not remains to be seen. If he doesn't go on the show, well, that's a different matter, but I guess we'll just have to wait and see about that, but it should be interesting. El Guerrero's even been invited too. Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see. It's going to be interesting to see if that still takes place, considering the TNA's situation, which I discussed earlier on the show. So yeah, it's going to be interesting to see what happens. Just reading this, there's plans for Cesaro and Heyman and Daniel Bryan's return after he has another surgery soon. It's possible Daniel Bryan can make his return at the 2015 Royal Rumble pay-per-view. It's worth nothing that WWE creative didn't find out Bryan needing another surgery, so to speak, until the press conference he did about the burglar incident at his home. And then they dropped the bombshell that he needs another surgery, so this poor bastard's had about a lot of surgery since his neck injury and everything, but let's just hope he makes it back, and let's hope he gets what he deserves when he comes back, which is another shot at the world title. And this time, hopefully, a longer run. I'm sure he's probably happy to see his wife probably on the verge of beating Stephanie McMahon's rear end at SummerSlam, so that should be great to see. WWE is still planning on something big for Cesaro and Paul Heyman. Possibly the rumoured Cesaro versus Brock Lesnar match. It was said this week that the split between Cesaro and Heyman is part of a slow build to something bigger. That's an interesting one for me. Cesaro versus Brock Lesnar. It'd be nice to see, but yeah, I just have to see what happens when that comes and goes. It's a difficult one, that one. Yeah, it's a very difficult one. Also, a Randy Savage 6-disc DVD collection edition is planned to be released as well, from what I'm seeing here. So that'll be something very, very, very interesting. It will be released. Apparently, it's been planned for release on November 18th of this year. So that would be very, very interesting, and I'll be hopefully looking to buy that myself. 6-disc DVD showing and incorporating probably one of the biggest legends to ever grace the world of professional wrestling. It should be very, very interesting indeed. The updated card, as we know it, for the August 17th SummerSlam pay-per-view is Brock Lesnar versus John Cena for the World Heavyweight Championship. Flag match between Rusev and Jack Swagger. Chris Jericho versus Bray Wyatt with Eric Rowan barred from ringside. I would imagine there'll be something in the pipe works for Luke Harper as well. Him being barred from ringside or something. And the big cat fight that everybody wants to see, Stephanie McMahon versus Brie Bella. So yeah, I would imagine there'd be something in the pipe works with Luke Harper on that angle too. So we'll have to wait and see on that one though. Apparently, it was reported in August 2011, that former TNA tag team Young Bucks received a WWE tryout at a Raw taping and robbed Booker T, who revealed himself apparently rubbed them the wrong way. Rob Van Dam previously bashed the team, formerly known as Generation Me, for not shaking his hand backstage at the event. But apparently, the Young Bucks have recently shook the hand of Booker T lately, so everything seems to be cool. Everything seems to be all good, but yeah. Last time I checked, the Young Bucks were part of the Bullet Club in New Japan Pro Wrestling. But the group now featuring people like Haku's son, the Young Bucks, AJ Styles, the leader, and what's his name? Luke Gallows as well. So, yeah, big deal. Now, just one thing as well. You all remember WrestleMania? You all remember the famous Silverdome mistake with Hulk Hogan? The Silverdome mistake, as it's now called. According to this, he's blaming Stephanie McMahon for it. Let me read this little piece out, if I may. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not busting Hogan's balls on this, because Hogan, I'm a big fan of Hogan, blah, blah, blah. And he said this: let me blame Stephanie McMahon one more time, because I keep putting this on her. There's a go position when you go out. Right before you go out of the curtain, you go out. There's Vince McMahon. All the executives, all the TV monitors, and the headsets running all the technical stuff. Well, they made me come out 20 minutes early. Usually you go out there and find early, which is when you walk up. And when I was there, I was a little nervous. So, and to finish it off, there was a press conference and all the media. What's Andre like? Was he a nice guy? How hard was it to slam him? Andre this, Andre that. Go back to the go position. Go out to the ring. All I had on my head was the Silverdome and Andre, and I'm going to blame Stephanie McMahon for that, because she should have been doing the press conference, but she didn't have her makeup all the way, so I had to do it for her. Well, I had to. Who do you believe out of that? I mean, yeah, it is what it is. Bullshit happens, right? But I just see that as an excuse, Hogan. There's no excuse for that, But hey, it's live TV, live pay-per-view. Shit happens. Take it with a pinch of salt, Hogan. Just take it with a pinch of salt. All you can do. Also, ladies and gentlemen, like yourself, I'll throw in some promotions. The list of Twitter followers that I put in my YouTube page and on Podomatic, and whoever else sees it as well. There are all the people you should follow as well. Make sure you check out the Sunday Segue Wrestling Podcast. You know who these guys are by now. You should do anyway. Axel, Mulligan, Darren Dyer, Axel's analysis. Make sure you check that out as well. All about NXT. He does such a good job. Also check out Tim Vicious and Vicious Rant. He talks about Monday Night Raw. He just gives his opinion. Make sure you check that out as well. Give him some love. And also look out as well, because the week of August 18, scheduled to be the following Monday as well, I will be having a very special guest on the show, all being well. That is Vicky Earls, the Irish commodity, so make sure you tune in for that, and make sure you stay tuned for that. Also, as we all well know, EPW will be coming to Darlington August 21st. I unfortunately won't be there because that's my birthday week, and I'll be busy that week as well recording. My next installment with EPW, I'll be going to their training schedules and all that, in and out and all that, working behind the scenes. But my next show that I'm probably going to be going to is September 20th at the Rainbow Centre. That's a guarantee that I will be there, come what may. They'll be lucky they even get me in Hartlepool on the 31st, but that's a different story for another day. But other than that, make sure you follow EPW American Wrestling on Facebook, EPW Wrestling 1 on Twitter, and epwwrestling.co.uk. Also look out for further episode as well, because I had a good chat with two guys in Billingham when I went to the EPW show on the 25th, and I will be, hopefully all being well, having Mark Anthony and a wrestler called Mark Anthony. Hopefully I will be bringing him on to promote his promotion and whatnot, and having a basic chat with the guys. You see, he was actually a nice guy, and he's up for doing podcasts as well, and hopefully he'll be bringing Adam Christ with him too, so stay tuned for that. And also look out, because I'll be organising and doing an interview, all being well, with the one and only Prince Amin. Yes, what a nice guy this guy is. Couldn't meet a cooler dude, and he will be, hopefully, knock on wood, appearing on the show very, very, very soon. So Prince, if you're listening, brother, look out for my call, because I'll be coming to call you. I'll be calling you very, very soon to organise this. If I don't call you between now and the 20th of September, I'll either do it on the 20th of September, or I'll do it on the 21st of September in Redcar. I might pop down to Redcar, and we'll talk about it then and organise it then as well. We have to wait and see, but at the moment right now I'm a very busy man. I've got a birthday coming up, I'm back at work, so once I get back into the groove of things, we'll organise it and get it all sorted as well. But I haven't forgotten you, I haven't forgotten our little chat. Like I say, you couldn't meet a cooler dude in Prince. He's absolutely a nice guy. And also as well, Prince, if you're listening, please accept my challenge on FIFA, and I've got no problem beating you on FIFA 14. Also, and I added you on the PlayStation also. Whether you will accept or not remains to be seen, but I added you on there as well, so, you know, what will be, what will be. Hopefully we can sort something out, but like I say, if I don't contact you through Twitter, I'll see you soon. We'll talk to you about it. I'd rather do it to your face, but hey, that's just the way it is. And with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, that is the end of the 18th episode of the Wrestling Matters podcast. Tune in to CVFM Radio these coming weeks as well. It's starting tomorrow as well, because episode 33 of the Wrestling Revolution podcast will return to CVFM after the Ramadan holiday, so make sure you tune in for that, cvfm.org.uk. And like I say, with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, I am the H, that E to the A to the D, Anthony Walker. You have been a very beautiful audience. Thank you for your support through this podcast. I love you guys so much. Keep supporting the podcast. You know where to find it. iTunes, Twitter, iTunes, YouTube, Podomatic, Stitcher Radio, coming to Mixcloud very, very soon. Just keep pumping and keep supporting that podcast. More EPW shows coming soon as well. And until next time, episode 19, thank you very much. I'm the head Anthony Walker. Peace out, y'all.